Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Planet Zoo. I'm excited to get on with our next challenge. So we have completed Goodwin House in the last episode, the first episode and the last episode, because this is episode 2. So I thought we would move on to the Madagascar Simian Conservation Project. I assume that comes next because I assume these are in order, right? Oh, Arctic adventures. Very cool. So let's move on and do the Madagascar Simian Conservation Project, which is where I got to last time. As you can see, I've got a bronze star on that. So the Madagascar Simian Conservation Zoo is the culmination of Bernard Goodwin's work in the region, specialising in simian breed and release programs, as well as championing and highlighting the diverse species of apes and monkeys. But never one to be complacent, Bernard now wants to see what you can do in this most promising of locations. So I'm going to leave this on medium difficulty rather than the easy, and let's see how I do. Ooh, here we go.
Welcome to Madagascar. It's quite the change of scenery from dreary old England, huh? Apart from the weather, I suppose. They don't call these places rainforests for nothing. The zoo you'll be working in is an ape sanctuary, where we're doing vitally important conservation work. Not just for apes, but for all kinds of species. But apes, well, apes are some of the closest relatives to humans there are. And yet, the way the world treats them is like, well, very much like some of us treat our actual relatives. Anyway, that's why I'm determined that our operation here does some good. If we can all leave some part of the world in a better state than we found it, we'll have lived lives worth living. And speaking of states, I have a horrible feeling I left the house in the right one. When I get back, I expect my life won't be worth living at all.
What do you think of Madagascar then? Bit warm for my taste, to be honest. Anyway, this is Bernie's Primate Sanctuary. It's not just primates, though. We've got all sorts of animals. So why don't we go and have a look at some of them, eh? We'll start by taking a look at the red-ruffed lemurs. They're the ones that look like they should be in a Shakespeare play. Come on, let's head over to them.
Okay, so Velvet has to remember everything she learned last week. So locate the highlighted area. Well, we can do that. I can see it.
Red-ruffed lemurs are found in the rainforests of Massoala. That's in northeast Madagascar. They can actually live anywhere from 15 up to 25 years. Fancy that, eh? Okay, when you're ready, let's go find our Bornean orangutans.
They are cute. Okay, locate the highlighted area.
The Bornean orangutan is such a marvellous creature. They're always a big favourite at any zoo they feature in, and they're also the biggest tree-dwelling animal on the planet. Assuming you don't count any lions that got stuck up one. Oh, why don't you take a better look at them? Open up their information panel and go into the animal camera.
Camera.
Aren't they just incredible?
Ah.
When you're ready, let's go and have a look-see at some of our beautiful bonobos. They're
Okay.
quite the characters.
Out of there, and...
Oh dear! It looks like we've arrived just in time. One of the habitat's barriers has collapsed.
Oh no.
And wouldn't you know it, one of the bonobos has made a run for it. We'll need to catch them. But before we do, we should box up the other bonobos to stop them escaping too. Select the habitat boundary to bring up the habitat information panel.
Okay. Click on the
Good. Now
tab.
open the animals tab.
Okay. Done
And
that.
click on Box All Animals to box up the remaining bonobos.
Aha.
Now, we'll need a vet to recapture that escaped bonobo, but it seems our last one left to do some research in the wild. Not an ideal situation. So, we'll need to hire a replacement, sharpish. Go into the zoo section and then into the staff management area. You can find all of your staff in here, but there's no time to go looking at their particulars at the moment. Hire a vet.
Ka-ding!
Okay, that's the relief. So while the vet deals with our bonobo friend, let's go fix up their habitat so they can't escape again. Head back over there.
Okay.
As you can see, the barrier's collapsed. Someone's taken their eye off the ball, obviously. Let's get this one replaced. Select the barrier and then we'll edit it. Delete the broken section of barrier and replace it with a brand spanking new one.
Select the barrier. No. To delete the broken barrier, select it and press delete. Edit barrier. Okay. And do we have to hit delete? First, I think we do. Delete.
Good. Now that we've done that, we need to make sure to add climb-proof barriers to the top. That way the bonobos won't be able to climb out. Just make sure you've got the correct piece of barrier selected when you do that.
Climb-proof options are here. So left,
Okay,
right.
so go into the options section and select which side the climb-proof barrier needs to go on. And don't get it wrong. We're more worried about bonobos climbing out than guests climbing in.
What? Eh? So how do we... I'm confused. Make the boundary. None. Okay, so we do need to do both? Or left or right? I think left? So we go like that, and no, that's increasing the size. So how do you add that? Is that how you do it?
Nicely done.
Aha.
And I think it's high time we unbox those bonobos, wouldn't you say? The poor mites will get sad if we leave them in there for too long. Select the habitat barrier to bring up the habitat information panel again. And then open the Animals tab. And finally, click on Unbox All Animals to let them out. I expect some of them are fair bursting for the toilet. So, it turns out that as well as the old vet leaving, the zoo's mechanics did too. We'll need to hire a couple of new ones so we can help stop any more breakouts. You see, mechanics do all sorts of helpful things around the zoo, but one of their most important jobs is taking care of the habitat barriers. Without mechanics around to repair them, the barriers will crack, crumble and fall down. And before you know it, we'll be overrun with escaped animals. Go into the zoo section and then into the staff management area again.
Okay.
Hire a mechanic and then click on a path to place them in the zoo. And then click on the path again to hire a second mechanic. As you can see, you don't have to go back into staff management if you're hiring lots of the same type of staff member.
Okie-dokie. Got it.
Oh, gosh, we have been busy, haven't we? Good work there. I'm off for a cuppa. Oh, I think Bernie wants a word with you.
Oh, I hear you had a bit of an issue with an escaped bonobo. The main thing is that you dealt with it swiftly. And more importantly, without the animals stealing someone's clothes, putting them on, and then walking out of the front gate.
You see, another key responsibility for our vets is animal research. Researching animals allows vets to unlock new enrichment items, additional information for our education resources, enhanced breeding programs, and improvements to food quality. Oh, the animals' food, not the vets. It'll take more than a research grant to improve the staff canteen. Anyway, as you can see, research is a key part of running your zoo. In order for a vet to undertake research, they require a research centre. And once again, that's something that this zoo is missing. So let's build one. I've marked out an area for you to put it. Now, you've probably
Oh,
noticed
okay.
that there's already a building where I want you to build the research centre. Don't worry. You see, the building that's currently there is actually a hollow shell, so we're able to place our new building inside of it.
Oh.
If you select the research centre for placement and then hover over the shell, you'll see that it asks if you want to add the research centre to the existing building. Okay, click to add it to the building. Oh, but that won't place it in just yet, though. First, we'll need to rotate our research centre so it automatically connects to the path when we place it.
Ooh. How do we rotate it? Could you just tell me that? Oh, I didn't read the thing. Raise, lower, rotate. Z plus arrows. No. Oh, okay. Holding down the mouse. Got it! Okay. Rotate. Okay, and here, like that. Yep. Is it connected to the path though? So, I don't understand how to make sure it's connected to the path. Do I need to move it in closer? Is that the problem? I'm very confused. I don't care that I'm wasting money. Maybe I've got it around the wrong way. Oh, maybe that's it. Oh no, silly me. I think I probably just didn't have the door in the right place of all the things that I could possibly have done. Is that right? Yes!
Splendid work. Now that we have a brand spanking new research centre, we can give our vets something to do in there. Oh, by the way, it's worth noting that the vets will only do research when they're not required to do any other jobs. That said, you can change what jobs a vet does via their information panel. But let's not worry about that just now. So, let's get our vet researching ring-tailed lemurs. Go into the zoo section and select Vet Research. Here, you can see a list of all the animals present in your zoo, and also all the potential diseases that can occur. Now, drag and drop your vet onto the ring-tailed lemur to start their research.
Dragon. Like this? Oh, okay. Ah, the ring-tailed lemurs. Oops. Perhaps if I read things properly. Ring-tailed lemurs. There we go.
Actually, thinking about it, I'm not sure we've got any education boards or speakers by the lemur's habitat.
Ooh.
Let's head over there and add some, so our guests can learn all about the furry little delights.
Right, so we need to place two
First off,
education
let's pop
boards.
down 2 education boards. Place them on the habitat barriers at a height that guests can see, or, if you like, pop them down on a stand.
So, like these. Place down 2 education boards. No. What? What? How do you... Okay, I'm just going to do this. And we need to Z and rotate. And place. And maybe... place there.
Okay, now that they've been put into position, we have to tell them what animal to display information about. Select one of the education boards to bring up its information panel.
Okay, done that.
And from the drop-down list, select ring-tailed lemur. Although I'm sure that last part was obvious.
It was a
When you
little
link
bit.
an education board or a speaker to an animal, you need to make sure that said animal is close by. If it isn't, the guests will get confused and won't learn as much.
Uh-huh. That makes sense. So I need to do that with that one and this one.
Okay, now that we've done the education boards, let's pop down a pair of speakers. Speakers play audio to the guests so they can learn while they look at the animals, instead of having to go through the laborious process of reading. Oh, one thing to bear in mind is that it's important not to put the speakers too close together. If you do, the guests won't be able to understand what's being said.
Okay.
Now we simply need to link the speakers to the ring-tailed lemurs, just like you did with the education boards.
Right. Oh! No, I keep on clicking on the people. There we go. Lemur. And ring-tailed lemur. Woohoo!
Fantastic! Oh, it's worth remembering that education boards and speakers both need power to work. They won't do much good without it. Oh, it looks as though our vet has completed their research on ring-tailed lemurs. We'll need to collect the results. We can do that by clicking on the notification or by going back into the vet research area.
Ooh.
Go on, collect your research rewards. Just so you know, vets will continue to research an animal even after successfully completing a research level. I suppose when you're in the zone, you're in the zone. Well, now that we've enriched the lives of our guests, let's enrich the lives of our ring-tailed lemurs. Some animals, like lemurs, will have a climbing need. That means they have a requirement for a certain amount of climbing space, and you can fulfill that requirement by building them a climbing frame. Let's find out how much more climbing space our lemur friends need, shall we? Select one of them and bring up their information panel. Next, click on the Terrain tab.
Okay.
Now, as you can see, the lemurs need quite a lot more climbing space. But as it happens, I've already got a climbing frame blueprint built for you. So you can either pop that down or build one yourself from scratch.
I'm okay. I think
By
I'll
the
just
way,
put one down.
it's not always just climbing needs that you have to worry about. Other animals might need a certain amount of water in their habitat so they can go for a swim. They certainly do keep us on our toes.
Outside placement area. Is it? Outside placement area? Where should I be placing this? Should I be placing it somewhere else? Should I be rotating it? Oops. Like that? Oh, I did it.
Oh, that's a great climbing frame for them. They're going to absolutely love it. Do you know what would make them even happier, though? Nicer food. But that's true of all of us, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
You can unlock better quality food for animals through research. Luckily, we've already unlocked some for the lemurs, so all that remains is to make sure they get served it from now on. Let's bring up the habitat information panel by selecting the lemur habitat.
Okay. No, it's a section. I don't...
Lovely.
There we go.
Now select the Animals tab.
Ah, I see.
There we go. As you can see, we can set the food quality in here. Just click on the drop-down menu and select Grade 2 Food Quality. Grade 2 Food Quality. My mouth's already watering. So, a new climbing frame and better food. Oh, you've really spoilt those lemurs rotten. Now, I think it's time we looked at one of the zoo's most important responsibilities. Releasing animals into the wild. You see, when we feel an animal is ready, we can release them into the wild. But what makes an animal a good candidate for release? Well, their age is an important factor. I mean, we can't release an animal that's a juvenile, just as we can't release one that's gotten too old. They'll also need to be fertile. After all, the idea is to repopulate the wild, so the best candidates will have a high fertility gene. And together, the age and fertility of a candidate will determine how many conservation credits we'll be rewarded when we release them. Now, conservation credits are vitally important. They're the lifeblood of your zoo, because earning them allows you to adopt even more animals. And what's more, the animals you can adopt will be of a higher quality. So, with that in mind, let's pop over to our orangutan habitat.
So cute.
Okay, I'd like you to find Agang, the Bornean orangutan in the habitat, and select him, please. You can either click through each orangutan in turn, or select the habitat barrier, go to the animals tab in the habitat information panel, and find him in the animals list.
Right, gotcha. Release. Okay, off you go.
I know it's sad to see him go, but he'll be happy out in the wild. And he's a wonderful candidate for release. Young, strong, and fertile. Excellent work there. You've definitely got potential, you know.
Great.
Ah, I see you've been doing some homework. Although, it hardly seems like work when you're learning about something as adorable as a ring-tailed lemur. I imagine I'd have got much better grades at school if there'd been less algebra and more aldebra. Tortoises.
Okay, so far we've done a lot of work with habitat animals, but now it's time to learn all about exhibit animals. Let's build a brand new exhibit. I've marked an area for our new exhibit. How about we head over there?
Okay.
Lovely. Now let's build a new exhibit in the gap that's been left. Just
Okay.
add it to the
I'm in
building
a
like we
tree.
did with the research centre earlier, then pop it
Okay.
into the gap.
I missed that. I was too busy talking about the tree. Okay, so we're going to put something in here like we did with the research centre earlier. Alright, build a Gila monster exhibit. So let's do that. So facilities, exhibit. So, does it need to go in somehow? So, exhibit. View exhibit market. I'm probably doing this completely wrong. Okay, I think I am. Okay, so I went off to another place. This is something that did confuse me, I remember last time, this whole exhibit thing. Okay, go away! So, we need to build facilities. I assume this needs to go in here somehow, but... like that?
Perfect. The next thing to do is adopt an exhibit animal to go in there. How about a Gila monster? Open up the exhibit trading section and adopt one.
Gila monster. Adopt.
Just as we do with habitat animals, we need to send the Gila monster to the exhibit. Click on the exhibit to send it there.
Ah, I did it.
When you send an animal to an exhibit, it'll automatically be given the correct setup. but that doesn't mean it's completely ready for them. So let's finish it off.
Okay.
We'll start by adding some enrichment items. Click on the exhibit to bring up its information panel.
Right.
Good. Now click on the Layout tab. Oh, well, it looks like we've only got the enrichment level 1 items unlocked at the moment. Never mind, let's turn on at least one of them for the healer monster.
Done. Hiding place C.
As I'm sure you know by now, you can unlock more enrichment levels by having one of your vets do some research. Now we'll also need to set the temperature and humidity in the exhibit. These are vitally important for keeping our healer monster happy and comfortable. Click on the Climate tab.
Uh-huh.
Here, you can see the healer monster's desired temperature and humidity. You can change both of these by adjusting the dials below. Make sure it's going to be nice and cozy.
Wait. That's the wrong way. Hang on, we want to go up. So we want 35, and then we want 15 to 25. Let's go even 20. Hey, did it?
That's the ticket. And the last thing we need to look at is setting up the different windows. So click on the Windows tab.
Right.
You can edit and customize any of the windows on an exhibit. A window can be closed and blank, or have a 2-dimensional background, or even a 3-dimensional background on it. Why don't you have a play around with the options?
Ah. Ooh.
There's also an exhibit education board. Pop them down near your exhibits to teach your guests about them. Let's add one now.
So which one's window 4? Yeah. I wasn't paying attention. What? Increase the here monster. Is it here? Gila? Place 1 exhibit education board. Oh, okay. Okay, and then we need to change that to healer monster. There's no option to. Ah, exhibit education board. Okay. It's habitat education board, so I need an exhibit one. Is that the exhibit one? It's behind my recording notification. I couldn't see. So let's just assume that is. It looks like it might be. Ah! Turn around, turn around, turn around. And education and healer
Lovely
monster.
stuff. Now our guests can learn all about our venomous friend here. Right, now I've got a bit of a big job for you. I need you to increase the number of species in the zoo. You'll probably want to adopt both habitat and exhibit animals to do so, which will mean building plenty of new habitats and exhibits for them. Go on, off you pop. I'll check in with you when you're almost done.
Alright, well, I think we might leave the episode there, because I imagine that this is going to take a little while getting our zoo built up, and it is pouring with rain, and I need to get another 10, 11, 12, 3. I counted on my fingers, I know I'm right. Another 3 species into the zoo. So I will need to find like some spaces, and I do want to like practice doing an exhibit again, and trying to put it like inside like a little empty outside bit, whatever that is. So yeah, I think that'll be exciting for the next episode, trying to work out how to build and do all the things. So thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next episode. Don't forget to subscribe as well, so you know when to come back. Great idea, eh? Thanks for watching. Bye!